Hello, my name is Lillian Okibe. Welcome to my channel. If you have natural hair and if you watch natural hair videos here on YouTube, or if you follow natural hair accounts on Instagram, then I'm very sure you must have seen or heard about the new no oil no butter trend that's really going on right now. I feel like every single day the trend becomes more and it gets bigger and bigger, right? Because many big hair influencers are jumping on the trend, and I feel like they have been kind of a mixed opinion on the matter. Some people feel like it is really good and it's awesome, why didn't they try this a long time ago? And then there are other people that are quite on the fence, and some people that feel that tried it and they're like, this is not for me, right? So I've been getting DMs from you guys asking me what I think about the whole trend, right? And I just feel like instead of replying every single person one by one, I just feel like I should make a video on my opinion on the matter. So if you guys would like to hear what I think about the trend, then definitely keep on watching. First off, let's talk about what the trend is about basically and who invented the trend. Now, before I go on with this video, let me say that before now I have heard of I've seen several other YouTubers, that have stopped using oils in their hair. I think the first time I came across anything like that was 2-3 years ago when Kimberly Sherrill, I'll leave the link to her channel in the description box. So she basically explained why she stopped using oils in her hair and why you probably should stop using oils too. And after watching her video, it kind of made sense. Recently I've also seen several other, before it became a trend, I've also seen several other YouTubers ditch using oils in their hair and things like that. So it's not something new, but I feel like this time around it has become way bigger than how it used to be. I feel like the reason why it is more popular is because the people that are at the forefront of the whole trend are professional stylists, right? So let me explain what the whole trend is about. There are basically 3 people that are behind this trend, right? There is a duo here on YouTube, and I believe they have an Instagram page. I think the name is Black Girl Coils, right? The founders of the Black Coral Girls, they were actually the ones that invented the 30-day detox challenge, right? So basically what the challenge is about is that you stop using raw oils and raw butters in your hair. And apparently the purpose of this whole challenge is to kind of detox your hair. Apparently we've been using too many oils, or too much oils in our hair. Is to detox your hair and kind of make your hair care routine easier, right? Because they feel that the natural hair community, the black community, we've been doing way too much. We do so many unnecessary steps, and that kind of makes our hair or our hair care longer, right? So the purpose of everything is just to cut down on the amount of time it takes for you to do your hair. So basically, if you follow this trend, right, your wash day should not last longer than 1 hour. And it's basically, you wash your hair, you apply your conditioner, not a deep conditioner, just your conditioner, leave it for a few minutes, 3 minutes or thereabouts, rinse it out, and then you apply your styler, right, which is a gel or maybe a mousse or 2 gels. But basically you apply your styler, right? It's just a 3-step kind of thing. And you should stop using raw oils and butters in your hair. By raw oils, I mean oils, fresh avocado oil, jojoba oil, olive oil, coconut oil. Stop using it in your hair, or mango butter, shea butter, those kind of things. You stop using raw, straight from the tub, raw in your hair. And you should also stay away from products that have oils and butters in the first, I think first 3 or first 5 ingredients. If you have oil or butter in the first 5 ingredients of a product, then you should not use that. Before I go ahead to give my own final verdict on the whole matter, let me explain to you guys what moisture is, right? I feel like many people do not really understand the principle behind moisturizing hair, and I made a whole video about that. I'll link that video up in the iCard just in case you're interested, but I'm just going to quickly summarize what it is. Moisture is basically water. Water is moisture, moisture is water. However, moisturized hair is not, many people think moisturized hair is hair that has products in it, but that's not actually true per se. Moisturized hair is hair that is dry in the sense that it is not wet, right? but it still has the properties of wet hair, in the sense that it is still like, normally when you put water in your hair, like when you wet your hair, when your hair is soaked, it is naturally more flexible, it is more manageable, it is softer, you know. For many people it is kind of shinier, you know, that kind of thing. So moisturized hair is basically hair that is not necessarily wet to the touch, like it doesn't feel wet or damp, right, but it still has the properties of wet hair. And that's kind of like the role that moisturizers play, because the concept of applying moisturizer in form of products in your hair is basically to capture the properties of your hair while it is wet, and maintain those properties in your hair even after the water dries out from the surface of your hair. So the concept is, get your hair to drink. You guys should just watch that video. I explained a lot better in that video. I don't want to keep explaining because I don't want this video to be too long. Basically, people tend to equate water to leave-in conditioner, and I've always had an issue with that, because I feel like I don't care how much percentage a product or a leave-in conditioner has, like it cannot take the place of water. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why many of us keep walking around with dry hair, and we layer product and product and products up on our hair, right, and our hair is still dry and it's still brittle and it still breaks easily, despite the fact that we're using so much products in our hair. That's because we are not necessarily moisturizing our hair, we're just applying products and on dry hair, and our hair ends up being dry. Now let's talk about how people moisturize their hair. How many of us have been moisturizing our hair for a very, very long time, right? So the first thing is, on wash day, many of us pre-poo our hair with an oil, right? And after pre-pooing our hair, we go on to wash our hair with a moisturizing shampoo. Basically, what a moisturizing shampoo is a shampoo that has some oils in it, right? So after pre-pooing, we go ahead to wash our hair with a moisturizing shampoo. After that, we go ahead to condition our hair. A conditioner has oils in it, it has a lot of oils in it. Some of us keep conditioning and move straight to deep conditioning, and basically deep conditioning is what's it called? It's basically a conditioner that has more oils and butters in it, right? That's what a deep conditioner is. So we go ahead to deep condition, more oils, and then after deep conditioning our hair, we come out of the shower, we dry our hair, like we remove the excess water on our hair so that our hair is not dripping wet, and then we go ahead to apply our leave-in conditioner. Some of us apply the leave-in conditioner in the shower, but we apply leave-in conditioner that has oils in it, that has more oils, and then we go ahead to apply our cream, right, which is more oil, and then we go ahead to apply raw oil or butter. Like that is many of us, like that is our system of moisturizing our hair. And then midweek, many of us, even in between our wash days, still go on to apply leave-in conditioner to moisturize our hair. We go on, some of us spray some water in our hair, then we apply leave-in conditioner, then we apply our cream again, and then we go ahead to apply an oil or a butter. Now if you analyze this routine, you would see that we are basically applying oil, butter, and whether you like it or not, products are not moisturizers. I've said this several times in my previous videos, especially where I talked about how to moisturize your hair. I'll link it up in the cards. Products are not moisturizers per se. Products are sealants. It doesn't matter how much water is in the product. Now, most products contain water and something dissolved in the water, and some of them may contain an oil or butter. Now, naturally, most times the water and whatever it is that is in the product doesn't mix. Most times the water doesn't really mix with those things, and that's the difference between people that make DIYs, like when you do DIYs and when you go on to buy store-bought products. If you make DIY, for example, of, let's say you use hibiscus tea to make a DIY, and then you mix your hibiscus tea and whatever, and then you keep whatever DIY you have made, let's say you put it on a table, right? If you give it some time, after a while, you will notice that the water that you put in that mixture plus your so-called hibiscus tea may start to separate, you know, because they do not mix. The normal thing is, most times all those ingredients that we include into our products, they naturally do not mix. And so what all these product formulators do is that they kind of force it to mix together, like especially if there is going to be any form of oil in the mixture. So you are mixing two things or two liquids that naturally do not mix. And what does that do? That kind of like binds, it kind of like it kind of like joins all the different liquids together such that the water that is in that product is not necessarily in the product as plain old water that you're going to get from your tap. It is now joined into something else, with something else, and so it has become way more difficult for that water that is in the product to penetrate into your hair, because it's no longer in that product as plain old water. It is now joined with something else. I'm trying to be as basic and as layman as possible. I don't want to go into the scientific terms and everything like that, you know. So the water is no longer standing alone, so it has become bigger. It's kind of like when you join two things together, it's no longer small enough to penetrate into the hair. It is now bigger because it has been joined forcefully into other things by a way of kind of like emulsifying different liquids together, and so that water in your product is not getting into your hair, it's not penetrating into your hair. So products, it doesn't matter how much percentage you have in that store-bought formulated products do not actually supply water into the hair. They are basically sealants. What many of us do when we moisturize our hair is that we forget the core of what actually provides moisture to the hair, which is water. We ditch that and we are constantly putting layer upon layer upon layer upon layer of sealants, right? And many of us go long hours without washing our hair, and even when we wash our hair, we are washing our hair with something that doesn't really get the job done. We claim it is a moisturizing shampoo, but really it's not actually washing your hair properly, right? So and as a result of that, I feel like many of us walk around with hair that is clogged, and that's why I keep saying this thing of porosity is just another scientific word to confuse all of us. There's no such thing as I have low porosity hair, I have this porosity hair. Like, many of us are walking around with low porosity hair because our hair is basically clogged with oils and butters and products which are sealants. And so when you have those layer upon layer upon layer of products that are actually sealants, whether they have oils or not, they're actually sealants. When you have layer and layer of those kind of products, you end up blocking your hair from drinking in water. And if your hair does not drink in water, there's no way your hair is going to be juicy, and there's no way you're going to be able to moisturize your hair. With all these things that I've said, I totally understand why anyone would decide that we should stop using raw oils and butters, because all these products that you are putting in your hair, they already contain oils and butters, right? So adding that extra layer of oil and butter on your hair is like, many of us do not need it, to be honest. Many of us do not need that extra layer of oil and butter. So in that regard, I kind of understand where the no oil, no butter trend is coming from, and in that regard, I kind of see the sense in it. However, the fact that many of us may not necessarily need to apply raw oils and butters in our hair doesn't make oils and butters bad for the hair. I'm totally against saying that oils and butters are bad, because they are not actually bad. Oils are great for the hair, butters are great for the hair. They have a role that they play in our hair, and that's why most products that you ever see, most products contain some oil or some butter in it. That is actually those oils and butters that actually help the product to be so amazing for the hair in the first place, right? So yes, because those products contain oils and butters in them, and you're already using 2, 3, 4 of those kind of products, you may not need to go ahead and apply raw oils and butters again into your hair. But that does not mean oils and butters are bad. And now the reason why I feel like it is completely wrong to say that oils and I went ahead to watch, I did a lot of research before I made this video, right? So one of the people behind this whole trend, I believe her name is Elise, right? She was talking about how oils and butters, like you can use products that contain oils and butters in them if they are not in the first 5 ingredients thereabouts. Because when these oils, and she also said that when these oils and butters are infused into products, they are usually better for the hair, and that's why even if your products contain oils and butter, it is still relatively good. But when you're using the raw oils and butter straight from, like, without any form of formulating to infuse them into a product, then it is bad. And I totally disagree with that, because I feel like I have a little knowledge on product formulation, right? And one of the concepts, like the concept of producing products, is like when you're putting oils and butters into your products, you are trying to put them in as natural in as natural form as possible. Like the less the more minimal processing that the oil or butter goes through before you are infusing it into your product, the more beneficial that product is going to be for the hair, you know. So saying that raw oils and butters are bad is totally wrong. Raw oils and butters are very, very good. They are fantastic, they are amazing. However, with every good thing, too much of it is bad. Many of us, because we are already using all these products that already have these raw oils and butters in them, we may not need to add extra raw oils and butters into it. Now, for those of you that have been following my videos, that have been watching my videos for a while, you guys know that I've always been pro shea butter. Like, I stopped using hair products a really long time ago. Those of you that have seen my face for the first time, I have locks now, obviously, but I just got my hair locked in February. So before then I had loose, fussy natural hair, so I know what I'm saying. So yeah, before then I was only using, to moisturize my hair, I would only use water and shea butter, and that's what I had been using for years, right? And my hair flourished. You can go ahead and watch my previous videos. My hair was amazing. My hair flourished. My hair was healthy. It was juicy. It was nourished, right? You know, so I can tell you for a fact that you can do without many of these so-called fancy store-bought hair products, right? And you can stick with just raw butter. Let me just use raw shea butter because that's what I've been using, right? But you cannot necessarily, most of the so-called good hair products that you see in the markets, they have some oil in them. Now, one of the products that have been publicized by this whole trend is the AG booster. I believe that's what the black girl curls, yeah, that's what the black girl curls recommend for you to use to condition your hair if you're going to be doing a 30-day challenge. And if you check the ingredient list of that product, you're going to see a lot of rich and nourishing oils and butters in it. Now, even though after you have conditioned your hair, the products that they recommend doesn't really contain oils and butters in them, but you're going to see that by the time you wash your hair, right, you apply your conditioner. You're not washing that conditioner out, you're just rinsing it out with plain water. So if the conditioner has oils and butters in it, because you're just rinsing it out, as you come out of the shower, you're still going to have a layer or like a film of that raw oil and butter on your hair. And like I said previously, the fact that an oil or butter is infused into a product does not necessarily mean that it has gone through one magical scientific system that has made it, that has transformed it from being bad for your hair to miraculously being good for your hair. It's still the same oil and butter that you're seeing that has just been infused into it, if it's actually a good product that has gone through normal natural process, especially the so-called botanical products that many of them promote for this no oil trend. So necessarily what I'm actually seeing from this whole thing is, from this whole no oil and no butter, is that oils are not bad. And I feel like this whole trend is kind of like demonizing oils, raw oils and butters, but they are not necessarily bad. Like I said, I use raw oils and butters as the only product in my hair for years, and my hair flourished, my hair was good, my hair was healthy, it was shiny. So even up to now that I have locks, I only still use just water and shea butter when I moisturize my hair. And another thing I want to state is that we in the lock community, people demonize shea butter because they feel like it is too heavy and it causes build-up. But really, if you use just a little bit of shea butter, you'll be fine. I feel like the problem we have in this natural hair community is that we are too heavy-handed and we overdo things. Hair care is pretty simple and it's pretty basic. Now, we have brought in all this scientific that to complicate things, but basically, your hair is created to just grow. Like, if you leave your hair alone and you do nothing to it, you do not wash, condition, treat, blah 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 blah, your hair will still grow. And that explains why you see all these homeless people. Sometimes you see those people, like mad people on the streets. I don't know if other countries have that, but in Nigeria sometimes you see those like mad people on the streets. Many of them, they have hair that like really grows really long, and they don't do anything to their hair. Like the normal phenomenon, if your diet is not so bad that it is like causing your hair to fall out, if you just leave your hair alone, it's going to grow. Like, hair care is like, it's not like really a necessity. Now, all these other things that we do, all these other things that we do for our hair, we are basically just dictating how our hair looks while it grows. But basically, if whether you do nothing to your hair will still grow. And that's the simple truth. All these other things will just help to make your hair look a certain way while it grows. And apart from the fact that oils and butters can be sealants, they have other properties that they do for the hair. Oils and butters also help with lubrication of the hair, so, and it also helps with shine. I also want to touch on the part of the argument that says that oils and butters, raw oils and butters, are bad because they block moisture from penetrating into the hair. Well, the truth is, not all oils and butters are the same. There are certain oils or butters that, apart from the fact that they serve as sealants, they also have other properties. I'm going to use shea butter for example. Shea butter is an amazing sealant. It is a fantastic sealant. However, shea butter can also act as a humectant if you live in a very humid environment. Unlike many other humectants that most likely only serve as humectant, shea butter can move between being a sealant if you're in a dry atmosphere to being a humectant. And that's why you hear things of people saying that shea butter causes shrinkage for them. If you put shea butter in your hair and you go into the, like, let's say your environment is like really rainy and humid, shea butter will most likely help to draw in some of that moisture into your hair. So I just want to add that before we go on with the video. Now, the thing is, when you first start out with this so-called no oil challenge, right, I feel like it makes sense if we are using other products that have oils in them, right? It's not going to be such a big deal. But if you actually cut out oils, no butters, or you are using products that contain zero oils, your shampoo has no oils, your conditioner has no oils, your styler has no oils, like zero oil, try that for a year and come back to tell me how your hair feels. Like, I'm not saying your hair will not grow or anything like that, but it will make a difference. Like, oils and butters are not just, it's not just about sealant, it also helps with the shine and the look of your hair. Now, when you first cut out oils and butters for like the first month, you may not see that much of a difference because you were using too much before. It will take more than 30 days for you to undo the benefits. Like, yes, the oils and butters were probably making your hair greasy and it was probably making your hair dry because you were using too much, and so it was blocking your hair from receiving moisture, right? So when you first start to cut down on that, right, and you still have just a little film of oil in your hair is going to be fine because your hair needs a little bit of that oil and the butter in your hair. But if you go on and ditch oils completely, all your products have no oils and all your products have no butter, do that for a year and you start to see that the so-called shine that you're seeing after the 30 days, that it seems like your hair is doing fine, it will gradually fade away. I feel like all these trends, we should take all these trends with a pinch of salt because not every trend, like when all these trends first start, right, it seems like it's making sense because, like, let me give you guys like an example. When I first started my locks, right, I used to wash my hair with my black soap every single week, and because I had locks, I stopped deep conditioning my hair. So I would wash my hair with my black soap, and I greatly reduced the quantity of shea butter I was putting in my hair, right? So I wash my hair every week with a black soap, then I'll apply just a dime size of shea butter into it, and then I'll go on with my day. For like the first 2 months, my hair was fine. My locks were doing great. It was amazing. And that's because I had moisture trained my hair for so long that it took more than a month for me to start to see that there was a problem, right? So for the first 2 months, my hair was juicy, it was nice, it was fine, even though I was washing my hair with black soap every single week. Now, as I got to like month 3 or like month 4 in my lock journey, that was when I started to notice that maybe this idea of washing my hair with a shampoo every single week and not deep conditioning and then not applying enough butter as I used to wasn't really as great as I thought, right? And so I had to readjust my routine, right? Yes, I still don't deep condition my hair up until now, and I still apply just a little bit of what's it called, shea butter up until now. But now I noticed that back then I wash my hair and next day my hair is feeling good, but now I have to get to that point that I have to, after washing my hair, right, I'll have to rinse my hair with water again like 2 times. I have to wait till about day 4 after I've washed my hair with a shampoo before my hair gets back to that moisture, you know, balance that I really like. So I'll wet my hair, allow my sebum to be distributed and all for like every other day for like 3-4 days before my hair becomes moisturized again. But when I first started the routine of wash with a shampoo, and go about my day. I did not notice any adverse effect. In fact, when I first started my lock journey, I told you guys that I loved how my hair felt. So when you first start out all these trends, it's going to look like you are making sense. But I just feel like you should take every trend with a pinch of salt. Remember when the whole no poo co-wash trend started, that people started washing their hair with conditioner instead of instead of shampoo? And then fast forward to some years later, people started coming out about the diva coil, whatever, that it was damaging their hair, and so many people lost the health of their hair and had to go through a whole emotional roller coaster, you know, that kind of thing. Remember that? So I just feel like all these trends, yes, the natural hair community will always come up with trends, but with every trend, take it with a pinch of salt. It's not okay for you to do something for 30 days and it seems like it's working for you, and then you just, ooh, yes, I'll ditch it, and like, still pay attention to your hair, because sometimes all these, when you start doing things, the damage actually creeps on you slowly. It creeps on you slowly, and if you're not vigilant and if you're not paying attention to your hair, you may miss it, and then when you finally realize that it is damaging your hair, it's already too late. So what am I saying here? I'm saying that yes, this no oil challenge, it kind of makes sense, because I feel like as a people, the black community, we've been using too much oils and butters in our hair. We need to cut it down. To be honest, we actually need to cut it down. However, I do not agree that oils and butters, raw oils and butters, are totally bad for the hair. They have role that they play in the hair and in the manageability and in the ease of management of our hair and in the health and like the look of our hair, right? So I'm not saying you should not jump on this trend. Please go ahead, jump on it, but I just want you guys to be vigilant, right? Be vigilant. And the fact that you're not using raw oils and butter does not mean that you should completely stop using products that have any oils in them. Our hair still needs some oil. Yes, we don't need as much as we have been layering in our hair, but we still need some oil or butter in our hair. And I just feel like, just be vigilant, right? That's what I think about the whole trend. So with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and if this is your first time on my channel and you like to see my face more often, or you like to see more videos like this, then definitely subscribe and make sure that you click the notification bell so that every time I upload a new video you get a notification. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys in my next video.